Here are some expressions that I want you to simplify. And a good way of doing it. If you look at these numbers, you can actually see that 64 is the same as 32 times 2. And you can see that 320 is the same as 32 times 10. Now you have 32 divided by 32, which is 1. So that's why I say this cancel, because we know that 10 divided by 10 is 1, or 100 divided by 100, or 1,000 divided by 1,000 is 1, or 76 divided by 76 is going to be 1. Any number divided by itself is going to be 1. So if you can rearrange this 64 to 32 times 2, because that equals 64. You get 32 on the top, and you get 32 times 10 on the bottom. Then you get 32 divided by 32, which cancels, and it gives you the answer 2 tenths, which we can then simplify to either the decimal point 2, or we can divide top and bottom by 2, giving us the fraction 1/5. So all of these things are identical to 64 over 320. But this form we must never leave it in, because it can be simplified. So that's one way of thinking about it. What you'll see me often do is you'll see me do like this. You'll see me say that 32 goes twice into 64. So I take away the 64 and replace it with a 2, because it goes twice into 62. So on my top I've got 2, and then I've taken away the 32 and put a 1 there, because it went once into 32. 32 divided by 32 gives me 1, and then I have my 0 there. So it's just a little different way of doing it. As you get used to this type of simplification, you tend to do it like this instead. Let's look at this one then. What can we do with this fraction here? We've got two fractions multiplied by each other. And I could do 36 times 5 is 180. And I could do 15 times 6, which is 90. If you're good at those sort of things in your head. But so that I don't have to do that, there's a much easier way of doing it. Here I've got a 5, and here I've got 15. So let's change this 36 to 6 times 6, because 6 times 6 is 36. Let's change the 15 to 3 times 5. And then I don't do anything with this fraction here. I can think of this as being just a long, long row of numbers like this. And then I can say which ones cancel. Which ones have the same number on the top and the same number as the bottom? Here's a 5 and there's a 5. 5 divided by 5 is 1. Here's a 6 and there's a 6. 6 divided by 6 is 1. What do I have left over? I have 6 divided by 3, which is 2. So instead of having to do that big multiplication and get out 180 divided by 90, I get the answer 2 really, really easily. By noticing that this one is a combination of 3 and 5, and I've got a 5 up there on the bottom, on the top. And this one is a combination of 6 times 6, and I've got a 6 down here on the bottom. So you're always looking for these little combinations, and they all mean the same thing. So that's how you can simplify fractions. Look at this one here. If we have this one, we've got two fractions multiplied by one another. We could put an 8 divided by 1 there if we wanted. But 4 goes into 8 2 times. So divide 4 by 4, I get 1. Divide 8 by 4, I get 2. 2 times 2 is 4. And 1 times 1 is 1. So I get equals 4. So you can, as long as you divide the top and the bottom by the same number, you can simplify fractions in this way. And it saves a lot of time. So you don't have to first multiply out. I mean, you get the same answer here if you go 2 8s are 16. 16 divided by 4 equals 4. But if you've got a lot of terms up there, you don't have to multiply everything out. Here I had no difficult numbers at all. I just got the answer 4.